welcome to Rep TSR Training Day 1. Today we're going to have an overview of the very important things that you need to know to be successful as a TSR, a telephone sales rep, working for our Rep TSR RS Pro campaign. Now I know that's a mouthful, but you'll learn all the ins and outs today as well as in the weeks to come, that everything that you need to know to be successful. It's actually quite simple and it's very cool what we do, and we're really excited to bring you on board. So grab a pen and paper and get ready, because all of this information will be quizzed on at a later time.
Hi, I'm Tim. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nations Info.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the COO and co-founder.
He's also the company jokester, so watch out for that. Hey, when we started the company in 2005, we had one goal, and that was to create an absolutely great company. And you probably have heard this. Any great company needs great employees, and so that's what you are. It begins and ends with you. Hopefully you figured this out when you went through the interview process, but we have a pretty high standard that we set for people that join this company. You got to be smart, you got to be really talented in your particular role. And I also want to reemphasize this point, which is you got to care about the company. You got to care about more than just yourself and what you're seeing in front of you. You got to care about your coworkers, about your department, and the company at large and how it's doing. And I think if you take that to heart and really try and do what's right by the company, you're going to see that it's a great company to work for, and you're going to have a great time doing it. So with that being said, let me back off and talk a little bit about who we are and what we do in terms of what our customers see. We are a real estate company that focuses on foreclosures and rent-to-owns and short sales, and you'll learn more about this as time goes on. But essentially, those are the special real estate deals, sort of the hidden treasures that very few people know about. And even if they know about it, they have a hard time figuring out how to go about it and capitalize and exploit that. And that's where we come in. We step into that void and we help people find the deals and then close the deals. We do that by finding listings throughout the internet. And by the way, we look at like over 100 different sources of data. It's actually a very difficult thing that Ryan and his group do in finding and sourcing all that information, putting it together and making it available and meaningful.
And also making it easy for a customer to look at a piece of property and analyze whether, in fact, that is a good deal.
That's right, because most people don't know. I know when I bought my house, I had no idea. And so if I had a tool like Realty Store to help me, it would have made that process that much smoother. So that's the first thing we do, right? We help home buyers find great deals on real estate. The other thing we do is that we've helped real estate agents succeed in their business and make their business grow. And the way we do that is essentially by bringing the home buyers that we talked about before together with the real estate agents. So these two people get together. It helps the home buyer because they now have an expert in the field, and it helps the real estate agent because now they have a new lead, a new prospect, maybe a new client, and ultimately maybe a new sale. So by pulling these two together, you start to see we build up this ecosystem in the real estate space of really enabling more transactions, more sales, and ultimately happier people living in a better place. So that's what we do. As I said before, our goal was to create a great company, and you're going to also find we're a very results-oriented company. We like to look at how you rank and how you compete and so forth. And when we look at what we've done relative to the competition, we've crushed them. We are number one in the space when you look at traffic. We're number one in the space when you look at sales. We know we have the best product, the best service, the best website, the best data, everything across the line. We're the best. And I think one of our secret sauces really is our customer service group. Ryan heads that group, so I'd love for him to talk about what we're doing and what we expect and what we're so good at.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. So I particularly like talking about our customer service group, as I was the first customer service agent when we started the company back in 2005. In fact, I was the sole agent for the first 6 months and have subsequently worn every hat in the company.
You'd have like 3 phones and stacks of paper this high.
It was actually a lot of fun and really helped me learn the business and learn what's important to our customers and help build sort of the framework for what our customer support center looks like today. So really what is important to us and why do we care about customer service is it allows us to listen to our customers, understand what they like, what they don't like, what's working, what's not, and we can take all that information and then feed it back to the other departments within our organization, which allows us to continue to iterate and continually improve our service. While most companies these days are finding ways to cut their expenses in customer service, we are actively investing in customer service, not only hiring more agents, but using more technology, using more surveys to solicit feedback from our customers, and as I said, to continually improve our product and service. What is customer service? The way I define customer service is finding ways to help solve problems that our customers bring to us. The large part of our customer group, they never talk to us, but there is a segment of that population who is calling customer service. And again, they have a problem, a complaint, a question, something that they want an answer for us. So it's our job to solve that as efficiently and as quickly as possible. I sort of like drawing in an analogy to a concert, where at a concert there's a large group of people enjoying the product, and the product being the musicians on stage. The overwhelming majority of them are there just having fun, watching the music. Well, behind the scenes, there is a small segment of that group that lost their phone, got stepped on, can't find their seat, are hurt, and they are talking to the booth that you probably don't know exists, that is the customer service center at a concert. I look at that very similar to our subscriber base. We have a huge group of customers who are successfully using our service and never talk to us. But then there is a segment who does call us and reach out to us with questions or service. That's the people you will be talking to. So what's our philosophy on customer service? There's 4 real key pieces to it that are very simple and straightforward, but I want to touch on them. Number 1, we want to be as efficient as possible. That means having the right technology and the right systems in place to make it easy for you guys to respond to our customers. Number 2, I want our agents to be empathetic, to listen to our customers, really understand what their problem is and feel their problem, and then help find a solution.
I think one of your pet peeves, right, is that cutting off a customer is a big no-no. So you really want them to listen as opposed to just get in.
You want to listen, let the customer vent, let the customer explain their problem before you consider responding. It makes the customer feel good, and certainly everybody likes to know that they're being listened to. Number 3 is being professional. That goes without saying, but you're going to come across customers who are a challenge. When you come across a customer's challenge, you got to bite your lip, you got to listen, you got to be professional at all times. We simply won't tolerate anything but professionalism on our floor. Lastly is being knowledgeable. That means understanding our product backwards and forwards, understanding how it works, understanding each type of listing, understanding how our customer support, our CRM application works, understanding our processes and protocols. That allows you to deliver a better customer experience. Ultimately, as Tim explained earlier, you guys are the face of our company, and we do have high standards, but I can assure you, if you treat our customers like you'd like to be treated, you will be successful at Nations Info. So that's it for me on customer service. Tim, anything you'd like to share?
There's a whole company that is behind you, and one day you'll get to meet everybody. Sometimes we head up to Santa Barbara, sometimes you might come down to Westlake down here. There's an entire engineering group, there's an entire marketing group, an operations group, a finance group, a whole organization that stands behind you ready to support you. But really the key point is none of them, including me, talk to customers. You do. And because you talk to customers, you are the face of the company. And so everything you say and the way you say it, and in some ways the way you feel about the company, impacts how our customers feel about us and how they interact with us. So the importance of your role cannot be overstated. It is critical to what we're doing as a company. It is one of the grounding forces of what's making us successful. And so, with that, I say, march on. Let's have some fun together. We're going to be successful together. Do your best, and we'll be here to support you as much as we can.
Looking forward to working with you all. Thanks.
Member Services, my name is Sandra. How may I assist you?
Member Services, my name is Brianna. How may I assist you?
Member Services, Christina speaking. How may I help you?
Member Services, this is Ray. How can I help you?
Member Services, this is Rayetta. How can I help you? Member Services, this is Jenica. How can I help you?
Learning objectives. By the end of this module, we hope you know the following. What is a rep or RS Pro? What are some of the brand benefits to our consumers, members, and realtors? What is RealtyStore.com? What does it do? What is our competition and how do we compete? What is the offer and our product and service? What is our sign-up process, as well as what does it look like once we've created a sale, and what is the demo? So remember, grab a pen and paper, get ready, because we're going to dig in right after this. All right, let's get into the rep overview. So what is a rep? Well, a rep is any active real estate professional that we can offer a product or services to. These can be any actively licensed real estate agents, realtors, brokers, or even lenders. Now, essentially, a rep is any real estate professional that can help facilitate the buying process to our members and may want to promote their services and draw more potential home buyers to their business. So these are our target demographic. We call every single day to real estate professionals and offer them advertisement on our website, RealtyStore.com. Now that we know what a rep is, let's move on to the RS Pro overview. What's the difference? Well, what is an RS Pro, you may ask? Well, an RS Pro is any rep or real estate professional that signs up with us and has a profile featured on our website. Now, this profile will display on our website, RealtyStore.com, in their selected territories. Now, our members of our website, or users as you can call them, they will see their profile displayed, like I said, on the right beside the listings, and they can choose to email or contact our RS Pros directly. So in essence, it helps complete the circle. We have a real estate professional that we're calling out to who becomes an RS Pro once we set them up. And now that they're featuring on the website, our buyers or members or users of our website, RealtyStore.com, will see them featuring there and then can email or call them if they want more information about a home or if they're ready to purchase. If someone goes to our website, RealtyStore.com, they may want to take a look at properties that they have near them. So they're going to come onto our website and they're going to put in their zip code or their city and look for listings in that area. So I'll type in 58701, which is the city of Minot, North Dakota, where I'm living now. Now, if I'm not a registered member, I will see some information, but certainly not all of it, because as we mentioned before, ours is a paid membership website. So you'll see some details about the property, but certainly not all of it. It will prompt you to register if you are not a member. So what I'm going to do is show you that if you become a member, you'll have access to much more information. So if somebody is not serious, they'll see that they can't see all the details, then they'll tend to filter out. But if someone wants to see more than just the first few listing details or just a few pictures, and they want to know specific details about this particular home, then they will be motivated enough to register. So what I'm going to do now is register as a consumer. I'm going to go ahead and put in my email and password as though I've already signed up for a trial. And so what I'm doing now is it shows me my dashboard. This is what it looks like when you first log in once you've registered for a trial. You then can put in the very same information, and you can see that it'll tell you can find homes in your area. You can set aside your favorite properties. We have a learning center. We have information about foreclosures, a credit center, a financing center, and of course the home page. So if I was a consumer who just signed up, I would now type in my very same zip code and city that I was looking at before, but now I am a registered member. I've paid $1 for a 7-day trial. So I'm going in, I'm putting in the property details, and now you can see that the map is visible. You can see that there's a real estate professional there at the bottom right hand corner. And now I'm going to take a look at some of the information available on the website. So now you can see where the information was previously obscured. Now I can see the contact details. I can see the market values. I have, of course, options for financing. I can take a look at the comps in the neighborhood. I can see exactly where this is, as well as contact a real estate professional. This is the benefit that it has now that I am paid for my dollar. I have unlimited access nationwide. So not just in my city, not just at the zip code, but nationwide access to the area or to any zip code. If I'd like to be moving outside of the state or across the country, I would be able to see all the property details and listing information there. So as you can see, now I have access to all of the details, not just the first few listings, not just the first few photos and details, but everything. This now shows me, because I'm a paying member, or at least I've registered for a trial, I now can see the contact details. I can calculate payment. I get all the local information, the comps in the area, and again, I can even contact a realtor. So you do get much more information visible to you once you are a member or once you've signed up for a trial as a consumer on our website. So let's talk about the data. What we have is one of the largest databases of listing information online. But where do we get it from? Well, we source it from a variety of different sources. We actually have well over 170 different sources that feed into our database. But let's say the information is rather crude, like foreclosure listings. Maybe somebody did not pay their bills and the house was foreclosed on. Well, see, in this information here, this is what listing information looks like. So if you get this, if a consumer wants to look for this information on their own, they will go to the bank. And so what we do is we take this very crude information that you get from the bank that just has the very bare minimal information. It maybe has lot size, it maybe has price, it has elevation details, but it certainly doesn't have information about what other homes are going for in the area. It doesn't have what the market trends are in the area. It doesn't have what the crime statistic information is in the area. It doesn't have photos. It's lacking sales history. There's no demographics at all provided. So what we do is we take that information from the bank and then we will source data. So NIC will go out of its way to enhance the listing information that is provided by the bank. We will add that extra data. We will look and find photos and we will give the comparables in the area. We will show the sales history. We will show the taxes history. We will show, what the demographics are in that area. So we basically take this very crude information that comes from the bank, which is basically just a one page of details, elevation, square footage, and the amount that's owed, and enhance it. So we go through this process with every single listing that we acquire from our partners that lacks details. We will make sure that the information is well-rounded and very helpful information for a home buyer, something that they would want to see. So here we have got the comps, we've added lending information so they can see the calculator, see how much they can qualify for, as well as provide all of the pertinent details that it is lacking. So again, when we get it very crudely, it comes straight from the bank. It lacks details, no photos, no property information. It's got no comparable property information, no area demographics, and we take that, enhance it, add photos, and all of those details so that our buyers have something that is much more informative that they can look at. So that way, when they're on our website, they are getting great details about this property, not simply the very basics, which is something that is unique to our website. Now let's talk about our website and where we are when it comes to the competition. We are an A+ rated accredited business with the Better Business Bureau. That's right, RealtyStore.com has an A+ rating and we're very proud of it. There is nothing that we won't do to help ensure that we have a good report card for our consumers. So let's talk about the Better Business Bureau and how we measure up compared to our larger competitors. Well, let's take a look at our Better Business Bureau rating. Let's see, here we go. Go to RealtyStore.com page. We have a business alert saying please contact the company before filing a complaint. We have a 2.71 stars when it comes to customer reviews. We've had 27 complaints in the last 3 years and only 12 within the last 12 months. And that's pretty good for a company that's doing the amount of volume that we're doing. And I will say that we have been accredited since 2006, so a year into our business we were accredited, and I will tell you that 5 years into our business we were named a champion of business ethics because we care about our consumers, about our reputation, and about resolving issues that may arise. Now let's take a look at some of the complaints, and I'll show you again that we have far less complaints than some of our competitors. We have a total of 27 complaints, and the status, all of these issues has had a business resolved. We have addressed every one of the issues that has come up. So what we have here again is 27 total complaints in the last 3 years and only 12 in the last 12 months. And again, it's all about making sure that we are addressing concerns as they arise. Now, let's take a look at some of our competitors. There again is Zillow Group. If we look for Zillow.com, Zillow Group, and we check and see their rating, they are currently at a D minus, and they have 1.06 rating, where we had how many? we were at almost 3. We were at 2.74, I believe. And when it comes to the number of complaints, they have over 571 complaints closed just in the last 3 years and 261 complaints closed in the last 12 months. Compared to our 12, we're doing pretty good. So as you can see, Zillow is a much larger website. It's similar to our platform at realtystore.com. If you look at their website, you'll see that it's quite similar in what it is that they do. You can put in, I can put in 58701, as I mentioned, which is my zip code, and do a search and get listing information as well. But as you can see, all the information is readily available. It will tell me where on the map the home is, and it will allow me to contact a realtor right away, contact an agent. There's really nothing on hand from prohibiting just, me reaching out. Well, you think, well, that's great, right? What's wrong with that? Well, if you're a realtor and there's kids looking online, which I happen to know happens, then there's really nothing to prohibit just anybody from reaching out to them, whether they're really serious or not. Again, remember the members on our website are paying to be there. The members on these websites are not. So that means that just anybody, whether they're very serious or whether they're just looking and or messing around on a website, they can contact a realtor and waste their time. So that being said, again, since it's a larger platform, a lot of agents really want to market with Zillow, but they're not as familiar with us. So they go to Zillow, but then at the end of the day, they have a D plus. They don't have a very high rating. They have a lot of complaints. So even if Zillow is a much larger company and a lot of agents are very familiar with them, we have a far better reputation than they do, and they are not accredited. And at the very end of it, look at that. They've been in business just about as long as we have. Now let's take a look at Realtor.com. That is another very popular website. Again, very similar in its business model to ours. And I'll do the same thing, 58701. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick search. Looking here, and again, same thing. They have a very similar platform, right, where they offer listing informations. But again, if you notice, there's nothing obscured. All the details are visible, and you can reach out and just email an agent. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. My boyfriend was looking for homes one day, and he, I don't know if he just clicked on something. He didn't mean to. He just started it, but he was just looking at the listing very quickly, and all of a sudden, it was almost midnight when he had gotten home from work. All of a sudden, he clicked out of the website and got called by 3 realtors at midnight because Zillow had passed his information along, and he hadn't even tried to connect with someone. So again, if that would be a realtor and he wasn't ready to buy, then that would be kind of frustrating because they would think Zillow is telling them, or Realtor.com is telling them, that they have a very hot lead right now. But in fact, he was not ready. He was just looking. He had no intention of reaching out to a realtor that day. And so again, it's different on our website. We know if somebody's looking, they're paying to look. And if they reach out to the agent, they're doing it themselves. They're emailing or calling the agent directly, which means they want to talk to the realtor. So it's a much better lead source, I think, than like a realtor.com. Now let's go to the Better Business Bureau and let's see if we can find realtor.com. Here we go. Now realtor.com is now Move Inc. So right now they're sitting at an A plus, which is funny because not too long ago, actually just a few days ago, they were not accredited and they did not have a grade. So it just goes to show that maybe they're trying to do a little damage control, because I literally looked at this just a week or two ago and they were not accredited, not visible on the Better Business Bureau, and it looks like they've got their profile back up. But the A plus, I don't know. What do you think? They've got a 1.11 star customer reviews, which we have, again, almost a 3. And when it comes to consumer complaints, they've got 151 complaints in the last 3 years and 53 closed in the last 12 months. So therefore, again, although we are not as popular as Realtor.com, we certainly have far less complaints, and a much better reputation. We've been accredited the entire time. We have never lost our A plus rating. We've never not been accredited. We've always had just under 12 or so complaints within a year's time, and we don't have multiple complaints day after day, day after day, day after day, and anything that we have is all been resolved. So as you can see, realtor.com, it's again a very popular platform. Realtors like to use it. But at the end of the day, there's really nothing to prohibit just anybody from getting on the website and reaching out, or for the company to just take their information and send it to a realtor. That, again, if I was a realtor, I really wouldn't want just anybody's information being sent to me for me to be calling and that person isn't asking for me. That person is not serious about getting a home. At least we know if somebody signs up with our website that we have some sort of established credit on file, a good email address, and that they are paying to look. That we think shows that they're far more motivated. So again, in essence, when it comes to our competition, RealtyStore.com has a far better reputation, far less complaints, and we've been in business for almost 17 years, and we're very proud of our A plus rating, and we do our very best to keep a high standard of conduct and ethics and handle all complaints as they arise. So again, Nations Infocorp and RealtyStore.com. We again have a great reputation and we're very proud of it. And we're hoping that you will be very proud of it as well. Now let's talk about Realty Store Pro Preferred Agent Profile. This is the profile that we offer to our agents. Again, here is Andrew Belcher, one of our longstanding agents who's been with us since we have started. He's got a great profile full of marketing tools, and he has been growing his business with our company for years and years and years since this program has begun. As you can see, Andrew has his photo there, his name. In the tagline area, he has his phone number, very effective, so that if somebody sees him on the right beside the listing and they want to reach out, they can just call his number. And if they click on it, they'll see his profile, and it has his about me, his qualifications, and his background. And we have lots of great information for Andrew for him to take advantage of. Now, how do we sign up an agent? How did we get Andrew on our website? Well, it starts with the sign up process. It's actually quite simple. Once we have an agent's buy-in and they are interested in setting up a profile with us, then what we will do is we will go ahead and get them signed up. We use what we call an assumptive close. We assume once they know all the benefits, and once they know that it's free for 30 days, and once they know they can market in 10 zip codes without a contract, and they have an opportunity to test this out for themselves, then we assume as well that they'll want to try it, of course. So once we get their buy-in, we start with their initial zip code. We will look up zip codes, we'll tell them how many spots are available in that zip code like I showed you, and then they will say, yes, I'd like to sign up. So we will then fill out the form page and start entering any zip codes. We can offer 10 zip codes, as I mentioned. So you'd simply hit each zip code in there and add new zip. And you'll see as we do it, the pricing point there will go up every single time we add a new zip code. So this way, when the agent is signing up, we can actually include as many zip codes as they'd like, up to 10, as long as we have room for them. Now, if you enter in a zip code and there is no spot available, then it will quickly tell you that that spot is full. However, you can certainly pick up and put in any zip code in there at any time, and then you will be able to continue the process. Now, once you've entered in their zip codes, maybe you put in one zip code, two zip code, you hit continue, and then you'll be in step 2. Now this is where you ask, how do you want your name to appear on your profile? This is where you'll enter in their first name, last name, brokerage address, phone number. We will have put their email in there, the street address for the brokerage, city, state, and zip code. Once we have that information, how they'd like to appear, we will hit continue and we'll be on step 3 of the sign up process. Now, when we're signing an agent up, it's very important that you give them the breakdown. You set proper expectation. We do, although it is free for 30 days, we do take a credit card to set this up. We do no billing for 30 days. It's simply set aside the spot for them in the zip code. So we want to make sure that we read our disclosures and that we are clear that we will need a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. But don't worry, it's actually quite simple to do so, and generally we don't get a lot of pushback if you give them the information up front. Now, when you're in the final step, you're putting in the payment details, their first name, their last name, the phone number will auto-populate. Now we will ask for their billing address. That might be different from the brokerage address that we put on step 2. Sometimes their credit card isn't through the brokerage, it's their personal credit card. And the billing address for the card will be different. So we have to make sure that we're asking for the billing address and billing zip code. If that information is incorrect, we'll have an issue at sign up. And if you do, then that's one of the first things you want to confirm if that billing address is correct. Then we will enter in the card type, the card number, the expiration date, month and year, and the CCV number there on the back, or the 4 digits of their American Express card, which will be visible on the front. Now, when we are setting up their profile, we have a disclosure paragraph. It's very, very important that we read that disclosure paragraph verbatim. We don't want to accidentally sign someone up and we don't have their verbal okay to do so. It's very important that we're careful not to get too ahead of ourselves and we make sure that we get their verbal yes at the sign up portion of this process, because again, even if they say sure, yeah, okay, I would always follow up with, is that a yes? So we can get a nice clear yes on tape that they are agreeing to the terms. So once we've set up and read the disclosure, we will get a confirmation or congratulations email. The congratulations email, they'll get sent to their inbox and we will get a congratulations page on our screen. Then we'll know that this has been set up correctly. And so that way they have all the information they need. But here is the authorization. In Chrome, when we're signing up the links, we will read the following. Your credit card will be charged nothing for the first 30 days and $24.95 per month based on the number of zip codes that you've signed up in. Each month thereafter for continued access to Realty Store leads. Now, if your business no longer needs or wants the access to these leads, you may call us at our member service number 866-972-3170 during business hours to cancel the service. Please note the fees once charged are non-refundable, and while we believe that you will be satisfied with the number and nature of leads you will receive, we're unable to guarantee the number or nature of leads you will receive. Is that a yes? And so if they say yes, then you can go ahead and click confirm. If they say sure, then you'll certainly want to say, I'm sorry, was that a yes? Because at the end of the day, we can only hit confirm if we get a verbal yes. An okay is not enough. Sure, why not is not enough. We do need you to prompt for an absolute yes. The other thing is if you're interrupted during the process, you'll want to answer their question. And you will want to make sure that you are clear on the answer and that they're okay with what you've said. And then you're going to want to start over. So if somebody does interrupt you by any chance, let's say you're in the middle of reading the disclosure and they stop you and say, wait a minute, what does that part mean? Then what you'll want to do is clarify and say, well, what that means is, of course, we hope you're going to be happy with the leads you receive, but we are saying that we cannot, of course, guarantee the number or nature of leads you're going to receive. Like, we do believe the best, but we can't promise anything. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and start from the top to just to make sure that you're clear. So your credit card will be charged nothing for the first 30 days, and then you start over. And then when you get to that portion when we're saying that, you want to make sure you're clear. You say, like I said, although we believe you'll be satisfied with the number of leads you receive, we cannot guarantee the number or nature of leads you will receive. Is that a yes? Do you agree? I do. I'm sorry, was that a yes? Yes, of course. Perfect. So then we can go ahead and sign them up. Now, once you've clicked confirm, once you've got that good yes and you're ready to go ahead and click confirm, they again will get a congratulations page. So, this is what it looks like once a sale is complete if you're the one setting up a profile. It says, congratulations, your Realty Store professional account has now been set up. Please print and save this for future use. Also, check your email for additional information. So, you want to encourage them to check their spam folder if they don't find it right off in the inbox, because sometimes Gmail may filter that into the spam folder if they don't see it right away. So make sure you direct them to find their confirmation email once they have an opportunity to do so. So what it does is it gives a billing confirmation and the account information, including their login and password. Their login and password will simply be their email address that they use to set up. And for now, it's a temporary password. It will just be the 10 digits of their phone number. So you simply encourage them, let them know that they are certainly welcome to go on to the website and start adding information to create their profile because they are now up and running on our website. And it's just a shell at this point, there's no photo or details. So you'll want to encourage them that it's up to them to take advantage of all of the features of the profile. Now, again, it's a wonderful profile full of marketing tools. They can even include a blog, they can have listings, they can add their links to their website, their qualifications, background, and so on. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to actually walk you through what we call the after sale demo. We give them the example of what they can do. And just so you are aware, I'm going to show you what you will see, or if you were an agent, what you would see and how it appears. So that way you can actually give them a walkthrough. Once you know this information, you won't need to reference anything. I promise you. It is a lot of information, but again, right now, I'm just giving you an idea as to what the process is. So, again, you now know from start to finish, you know, what our company is, what realtystore.com is, what the benefits are to our members as well as to our realtors, right? What our offer is, as well as like what we do on our website and how we stand out against the competition. And we've just reviewed the process of setting up a profile. Now, I'm just going to show you what the profile encapsulates. What is the demo or walkthrough that we typically give an agent once a profile is set up? Granted that we have time and they're not, just signing up and running out the door. So we just want to make sure that you provide this information. That way, when their trial comes to an end, that they've had an opportunity to take advantage of all the tools because they just don't know all the details. That's your job. So let's go ahead and we're going to move into the part of the process where we will go ahead and give a demo. So again, right now this is again the congratulations page. If you recall, once you've set up the account, you've got that good clear yes, you can hit confirm. You'll get this congratulations page. You'll read what you see on the screen, and you will let them know to be sure to check their spam folder or junk folder if they don't find their welcome email in their inbox. You'll let them know what their password is and their user ID, which is again only going to be their email address and phone number to start. And you can encourage them that again, since that is a temporary password, that when they first log in, it will prompt them to change it. So let's get started and walk through the demo portion of our conversation. All right. So basically their profile will consist of four separate tabs when they come on initially. They'll go into edit profile and then they will see the basic profile tab. In this tab, they can upload a photo or headshot. They can include a tagline, which is a little something about themselves. Our friend Andrew just put his phone number, but you can also say greatest realtor in the whatever area, or your neighborhood realtor, whatever kind of catchy little tagline, or able to help you buy and sell your dream home. Whatever the case may be, they can include a photo, a bit of a tagline, some information about themselves, and they can adjust their advertisement settings. There, it'll include all the different property types that we carry. But if an agent doesn't want to receive a lead from maybe, let's say, rent to own properties or short sales, then they can uncheck the boxes. Again, they come all checked as a default. That way, they get the most exposure once they register their profile and get up and running. However, if there's a particular property type they would rather not receive the information for, then they simply, in that basic profile tab, there's a list of all the different types we carry. And again, they're all checked. All they would have to do is uncheck any specific type of property they do not want to receive leads for. That way, if a buyer is on the website and all they are looking for is that type of property, then our realtor will not be seen. However, if someone is looking on the website and they're looking for MLS, which is an area, which is a property that our agent does want to be featured in, and they're looking at, let's say, foreclosures, and the agent opts not to market to specific foreclosures, they will still be seen because they are in one of those check boxes. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions about that, you can always write it down and you can cover it with your TL. But again, at the basic profile tab, that's the first tab they'll see. They can upload their photo, add a tagline, which will show beneath the photo on the right beside the listings. They can adjust those ad settings. And they can even elect to have a text alert. That way, when somebody contacts them or when somebody fills out the form page on our website, then they can get notified by phone, right? Not only by email, they get that little alert letting them know that somebody reached out to them. Now, the next tab is their personal information tab. This is where they can add more information about themselves. They can add their about me, their qualifications, as well as their background, how long they've been in business, what companies they worked for, and so on. This is a very informative information piece for our buyers. When someone's looking on the website and they're looking at those different profiles, again, we limit it to only 3 agents per zip code in most states. I believe it's Texas and Florida, we're allowing up to 5. And so the way that our buyers are going to select is based on the information that the agents put in their profile. So if they leave all this blank, then they may not be contacted, right? However, if there is an agent, if there's 3 agents to choose from, right? Let's say that zip code is sold out, and one agent puts in all this wonderful information about their background, how they can help people in that area, how long they've been working there, what brokerages they're with, their experience, a photo, and really a nice personal tagline that says "Let me help you find your dream home" or something, and they see all of that, then most likely our home buyer will select that agent over the agent that left the profile blank. Wouldn't you agree? I think so, right? So if the profile is not touched, if the agent does not go in and add details to their profile, it's just going to appear as a shell. It's going to have no person in the photo. It's going to have no information about them other than their name, right? So they're not likely to get contacted as often. That's why it's important you remind them, please, when you're done here, go log into your profile, and you can, go to your basic profile tab. You can add your photo, your tagline, adjust your ad settings, even to make sure you get a text alert on your phone. And then if you'd like, be sure to add more information. The more information, the better. You can include your about me, your qualifications, a bit of your background. So that way our buyers know what you can do for them. Now, we also, as I mentioned, have the online presence tab where they can include their online personas if they have a Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, even Instagram, or maybe they have their own website or broker page they'd like to draw traffic to. This is where they'll find it. It's in the online presence tab of their profile. Now, we do have contact information tab as well. This is where they can update their contact details at any time. Now, we don't want them to update their email address. That's how we set up these profiles. But they can update, their phone number if they need to, or uh, their information that they have there in case they've made any changes. We want to keep uh we want to make sure that we have a proper phone number in there at all times, so that way that they receive their text alerts. All right, so those are the four components of the profile. And just when it comes to the profile tabs, when an agent is logged in to the edit profile mode. Now, when an agent is done, all they have to do is hit save on the lower left, and this is what it will look like. In this example, I went and created one for myself. I said, my name is Gloria P. I'm your number one realtor. Here's about me, and here's my qualifications, background, and so on. So it's actually quite simple to set up a profile. Again, this is what it appears like when someone is looking at the when the agent is looking at their profile after they've hit save. So they'll be able to see, the information that they put in there, as well as they'll see some tabs on the left. They have the profile tab, stats tab, leads tab, and listings. And so that's where we're going to go next. So the front profile, like I said, consists of four tabs. The profile tab, where they can see all their information they've entered. The stats tab, where they can see how many profile views they've had. Their leads tab, where they can get all the lead information there. Each lead will have a time and date stamp, and it can be exported. We also have a listings tab, where they can add up to 100 of their listings if they have them. The listing tabs is also where you can go to see their information. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Once the profile is set up, if they want to create listings, they go straight to the listings tab and create listing. Once they've clicked on create listings, then they can go ahead and click the button there, as well as see how to do so. The create listing tabs consists of four steps: the contact listing for the details for the listings, the property information, the property info, and photos. So the property listing wizard is what they'll use, where they'll click on contact information. They'll put in their the information that they have for the contact, their information. It'll auto populate, and they'll hit enter, and then they'll enter in all the property details. They'll go ahead and put in the city, the state, the address, as well as pertinent details. Then they go to the description phase, where they can add, in check boxes like if there's a refrigerator included, if there's a dishwasher, if there's a basement, a garage, and so on. And they even have a dialog box where they can include any other features that might be interesting. Maybe they have a pool, maybe they have some other information as well. Now, the last tab and part of this process is where they can upload their photos. They simply would click on a browse, and then they can pick a photo image, and then they can simply upload that photo. And then all of a sudden, when they're done, all they have to hit save, and they should have a listing created on their profile. That way, when a consumer is looking at their profile, they can click on that and see the listing information that that agent may have. So that is it. So it'll include on that listing tabs. Again, the agent can, this is only visible to see by the agents. They are the only ones who can enable and see the listing wizard that we have and upload that information. However, once it's saved, it can take about 3 to 7 days for that information to be uploaded and visible on our website. But at the end of the day, it's basically going to help highlight their particular property. Now, in most cases, that information is already on our website. However, this is simply going to highlight it and put it on and attach it to their profile. So that way, if they have a listing they want to draw traffic to, then we can help them with that. Well, I want to thank you for your time and attention. That's it for today. I know we covered a lot. We covered what our brand is. We covered what the benefits are. We covered what our offer is. We talked about what our website does, and how we optimize listing information and provide great resources and information for our members. We talked about our wonderful Realty Store Pro preferred agent profile, all the features and benefits, as well as all the information you need to know how to set up a sale, and so that you can have a great conversation with our realtors. Now, we appreciate that you're coming on to the family. We're so excited to have you. We hope this information today has proven useful and not too overwhelming, but we will dig in much deeper, of course, as the week goes on. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Your TL will take over for now. I will talk to you soon. Thank you again for joining us for Rep TSR Training Day 1 overview. Again, my name is Gloria Pardo. Have a wonderful day.